Good evening. Welcome to Military Strategies. We are live. The same breaking news. Iran has gone dark and Iran has just attacked water treatment plants in Kuwait. Total escalation tonight because the Baghdad military airport is on fire. Victory base right now under attack. Israel and the United States attacking tonight one of the key petrochemical industry facilities in Tabriz. And all the details, everything that's happening, everything that's going on, and on Military Strategies family, your likes, your comments. We're heading to Iran. We're going all in. Let's begin. Good evening, family. Welcome to Military Strategies. Images, we're starting right now. Tabriz refinery engulfed in flames on this night of March 30, 2026, the second to last day. Refinery burning in 2026, the second to last, the 28th, which was the last day of last month when all this madness started, this whole story. Images also in Iraq, bombings, refinery. Right now, breaking news. At this moment, while we are talking, while we are here debating how to fix the world, how to fix the whole thing, attacks in Kuwait on a water treatment plant in what is going to be an unprecedented escalation. Middle East. Wealth is sometimes not complete. The countries have a lot of oil, a lot of gas, but little water. Well, and water is the key element that can tip this war one way or the other. Iran had warned, if our industrial facilities are attacked, we will attack yours. They've been trying for days. In fact, we mentioned it in the previous program, but we're doing it now. There have been attacks on industrial infrastructure inside Israel. Today, near Beersheba, there have been attacks in some places where one or more missiles hit, and it has caused damage to the petrochemical industry. Well, the response has been clear. Israel went to Tabriz, to a very specific place in Tabriz, and they left them a little gift. They left them a little gift so that Iran starts to understand what this is all about. But also, we have the big device, the blackout. Yes, what you're hearing, the big blackout. Footage from right now, Tehran. Literally with candles. People with candles. There's no light, We're being informed that neighborhoods and districts in Tehran are in the dark. Neighborhoods in Iraq are also in the dark. And people are wondering, is the United States using some kind of new weapon? People have asked me, hey, did they use an electromagnetic pulse weapon to cut off the power? Since nothing exploded, there hasn't been an explosion, so how did they end up in the dark? What happened? What went on? Well, tonight we're going to break down exactly what's happening, what's going on. But first of all, family, before anything else, let me welcome you to this, your home for information, for news told in a different way. And that's thanks to you, thanks to all your support, to your displays of affection. You've been so worried about my health these days. As you know, it hasn't been very good. But here we are, fighting to the end with our sword raised high. Military Strategies. If you want to support us, subscribing to the channel is the best way you can help. We want to reach 500,000, and after that, we'll see where we go. But we also have our PayPal, me/Military Strategies, and also our Super Chats, so you can support us tonight. Plus, we're going to display the Super Chats. Well, one of the things that happened today is the big controversy about Pixabala, which we were just talking about a moment ago with Q de Historia. And well, I just experienced this about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago. And well, I made a statement in the middle of the night saying that Pixabala, that tomorrow he should go and do whatever he wants. And no one is going to stop him, and no one is going to say anything to him. To close the loop a bit on the previous show, new information has come in, and we've had a chance to listen to this Pixabala interview in private.
If you buy on one side, the other.
He has apologized. He said this has all been, well, just a misunderstanding, and that's it, downplaying the whole thing. However, in some countries, well, you start to see a bit of everyone's ideology. You start to see a bit of anti-Semitism, of taking advantage of any kind of opportunity to attack Israel. Pedro Sanchez has done it, and politicians from the right-wing Vox party have done it too. There has also been criticism without knowing the circumstances of what happened there. Honestly, I have been to Jerusalem several times, and when I have tried to access some of the places of worship of any faith, well, it's guarded by the police, who are usually pretty young guys who might not really know how to react or how to deal with people. Or maybe the way they approach people isn't the right one, for different reasons. Because everyone comes from different backgrounds, everyone has their own culture or level of professionalism. What happened today with Pixabala, he went straight there. He probably said, look, you can't come in here, turn around, come back another day or talk to my superiors, but you're not coming in here. And did Pixabala leave? He said they were polite, there was no conflict, and he understood and left. Are there already problems with this? As I always say, Israel has an internal problem in many areas, and this is just one more of them. Communication with other faiths or with other religions or with other cultures, or whatever you want to call it, I don't care. It's not their strong suit, and the communication department isn't their strong suit either. And well, there's the example. Not everything works in Israel, and in this case, it hasn't worked as it should have. Anyway, Pixabala knew that an event couldn't be held, but he wanted to. That's what he says. Well, we're not going to make it public, I want to make it private. With 3 priests, something private just for us. They haven't allowed him, since we're back to the same issue. The thing is, there are no shelters there. There aren't any shelters there. If there's a missile, bye, that's it, it's over. Material damage can't be avoided, but loss of life can be avoided, and that's what Israel has wanted to preserve. That it hasn't been approached in the right way, surely that maybe some commander should have made a call, surely very likely.
But that's how it is.
Blackout, blackout, you can't see anything. What's happening in Tehran? The big blackout? They're out of fuel. They've had their electricity cut off for not paying, none of that. Tonight, the United States has used a weapon that hadn't been brought to the battlefield until now, and Israel has it too. It's a very special weapon. It's not an electromagnetic pulse weapon, which may exist, though not officially confirmed. But it's a weapon that hasn't been used since the Yugoslav War. What am I referring to? Why did the power go out? Well, it's a weapon that doesn't explode, it's silent. There are no explosions. What you see are flashes in the sky. Do you remember how for several nights we've been saying, hey, they brought out the new weapon, hey, they brought it out, it's not new? Right? In the Yugoslav War, to blind the enemy, to cut off their power, lighting, and communications. A very special weapon was used. It's a cluster munition, but this one doesn't explode. Imagine a can of Coca-Cola or any soft drink. A can X, then they're going to say we're advertising Coca-Cola. Can you imagine a can when it falls from a very big bomb, a kind of small parachute deploys? And when it reaches a certain height, the bottom part of the can opens up. And from that can, a few threads emerge. some threads, some filaments that are metallic. So how is this related to light? What is this used for? How is Tehran's power going to be cut off by filaments? Thank you. Well, then pay attention to the photograph. Let me introduce the weapon at the center of the controversy that could send Iran back to the Stone Age. And it's not a nuclear weapon. CBU-94. What? The CBU cluster bomb es un arma silent. What they do is drop this type of ammunition on electrical installations. With that, they cause a massive short circuit. But I'm going to show one of the images so you can see it. It's metallic threads that fall and what they produce. You can see it there in the image, those little threads. When they fall onto the power lines, they collapse the network, causing a short circuit. Boom, blackout, the fuses blow, the generator, everything catches fire. This is absolutely crazy, and it could be the weapon being used. It's not lethal because it's not lethal. It's not permanent. It doesn't last over time. But these weapons were carried, for example, by the F-117S during the Yugoslav War. I repeat, with this, they carried them for deployment and left entire cities in the dark. It's also a pressure tactic, another way of applying pressure, as we can see. The grenade is called Blue 114B. We can see the filaments. When this opens, it spreads like a rain of filaments from the sky. That has caused what we're seeing tonight, these blackouts in Karaj and Tehran. By the way, we now have confirmation, visual by satellite, that the damage to the Iraq nuclear plant, as Estrategias Militares announced 48 hours ago, was so severe that it had been destroyed. Today, specialists confirm that the damage to the Arak facility is not compatible with permanent operation. Spanish. Destroyed. Now it's confirmed. We already have confirmation. What's happening in Iraq? There have been waves of rockets against an American base. The situation in Iraq is heating up. It's really heating up. This is Tabriz. Tabriz, what was hit here, they're not going to like this very much. Look at the gigantic facility that has been attacked, which generates no more and no less than the entire energy supply for all the factories around here. Well, this facility you're seeing has been attacked, and there's a fire right now, a big fire. This facility we see here. Look at the amount, thank you, of factories and all the number of companies, 200 million liters of water per day. Iran needs it no less for its missile program. To manufacture them, prepare them, use machinery. 1 million out of those 200 go to the tunnels every day. That's why maybe there's no water. That's why maybe the rivers are drying up. That's why maybe people can't drink good quality drinking water. Because they spend the money on weapons or directly on drying up all the aquifers in the area. A clear example of this, not far from Tabriz. Also, look, there it is. What a real shame. What used to be a real paradise, real paradise. In every sense. It kept drying up and drying up and drying up to build tunnels, drill into the mountains, and create real chaos on the land. Unfortunately, it's the country that's witnessing its own destruction at the hands of mullahs, fanatic ayatollahs who want to destroy everyone but don't destroy themselves. Dangerous, very, very dangerous, very, very, very dangerous. There is also news today that has gone largely unnoticed. There have been attempted attacks in Israel. There is a Europe-wide anti-terror alert. For Holy Week, friends from Spain, as we do every year, you already know that we make a program asking everyone to please stay alert for any kind of threat that may arise or appear. This is super important. Any kind of incident that may arise or appear, which can be of different types. But which city? There are guys out there with objects or vehicles on the street to cause harm. Pope Leo XIV. God rejects the prayers of leaders who start wars. Message for Trump, message for Vivi, message for who? Strong thank you, very, very strong thank you. Thank you, the church, taking a stand on the wrong side. It's concerning because we could ask the question, where was Pope Leo XIV? With all the people who have died in Iran? Where was it? Where was the church? What was the role of the church? Thank you. It's strange, very, very strange. Thank you. Trump, no? What's wrong with POTUS? What's wrong with POTUS? Let's go see him. Donald Trump ponders, meditates, thinks whether to launch a risky military operation to seize the 460 kilos of uranium repartido, distributed in 18 barrels. If my memory serves me right, we discussed it here the other day using a photo. Let's look for it because we didn't pay much attention to the image. Someone leaked a satellite image, probably by mistake. It was a leak, of course. What would it be doing there? A satellite over Isfahan? Seriously? A truck leaving the nuclear facility with 18 blue barrels with security personnel and with staff, possibly from the Iranian nuclear program. In addition to a crane, probably to move the barrels, what were they doing with it? Where were they taking it? June 9th, 2025. Land of the 12 days, so that people know where it can be, where they are. Isfahan. It's big, very big. Isfahan is one of the most complicated military zones in Iran. It has military structures spread everywhere in the mountains, hidden silos, and a lot of tunnels to store missiles, and in this case, also uranium. How will Donald Trump do it? How will they get in? It's one of the most closely guarded mysteries right now in this whole story. Why? Because it's not just about arriving with some helicopters to land, loading the 18 barrels onto 18 helicopters and heading home, right? Those trucks you saw in a photo were transporting, not very far away, something inside them. There is no evidence that we know of, obviously, that it was uranium. But interestingly, the barrels, the 18 barrels, have ended up inside the mountain. On that road, you're seeing On June 9th, they entered the sort of pyramid of Isfahan, the one that was being built to protect the facility, to protect the uranium from the 10 nuclear bombs. Inside the mountain, at different access points, dug underground with tunnels. We can see them here, those tunnels, those grooves. The entire facility is underground with vents everywhere, super well protected, with walls reinforced with concrete. And also buried alive, as if it were a scene from some movie about a pharaoh in the last moments of his life. Well, there it is. Could the United States try to storm the sanctum sanctorum of Iranian uranium? An operation that's not complicated. Very, very complicated. Very complicated. A large part of the Iranian army's ground forces are concentrated in the Isfahan area alone. It's no coincidence there are bases spread throughout this area, all across the entire sector. They provide security for this one and for the one in Natanz, which isn't very far from there, but it's believed that the uranium is in this one here. Although, of course, you can't risk that Iran hasn't diversified its raw material to properly store those 10 nuclear bombs when they need them. It's an incredible thing, really, really incredible, but without a doubt, seeing what we're seeing what can be discovered every day, it's scary, really scary. It would be a very long journey, a journey that would start from some hidden place and continue in another place, much farther away. How many kilometers is it from here to the closest point from which to launch that military operation? From Kuwait, 400 kilometers Trush. From Saudi Arabia, 700 kilometers. Qatar, 800 kilometers Bahrain, and Qatar at 800 kilometers Qatar. United Arab Emirates, 600 kilometers. It's an operation. It's a complicated operation, several hours long. It's not like Caracas. Caracas was right next to the coast. Here we're talking about entering enemy territory. We have to go all the way there. We need to have equipment to open the tunnels and go inside them. It's no joke, I'm serious. We have to open the box, look for the barrels, face the guards that are inside this place, and get out quickly. Is that possible? It can be done. There's a chance. It's complicated, but not impossible. Is anything impossible for the United States? Look at how more and more facilities are being built underground. Also, look here. The shading is terrible. It's really terrible, but it can be done. Who would they be? The SOAR unit, Maduro's people, the Deltas. Could the Navy SEALs also join? A lot of people could join. Each one with their own functions. The first thing, before anything else, is to clear the area of enemies. That has been going on for 30 days. All the barracks and launch areas are being destroyed, along with several anti-air defense systems, for example, in this area here. This area we see here is for anti-air defense. We can see the communications tower here. We can see over here some of those facilities. It's an area that obviously has to be attacked, and it already has been. The United States and Israel have already targeted this place. Here you can see it, the missiles, and they are aware of it. We have to take out the fixed anti-air defenses, look for the portable ones, and even then go in the middle of the night when they can't see you. Unload the personnel, stay on standby, and wait. When the helists arrive, they have to unload the personnel. Sorry, you weren't seeing it. I can see I was just talking to myself here. I'll show it again. This is an anti-air defense complex. What you're seeing here with the missiles in this place, and as I was saying, it's a pretty complicated issue. Here, there was also a base that until recently housed Air Force systems. Airborne clothing, which has been destroyed, has been eliminated. What I meant was that in order to take over the whole complex, you obviously need a lot of force, a lot of personnel. You have to isolate this whole area. The entire perimeter has to be isolated. You have to allow the entry and exit of aircraft with vertical takeoff. Do you get it? All of that while protecting the structure on all sides, so the military can't get in by land and start attacking the infrastructure. They start firing mortars while the machinery is trying to drill through the entrances of these tunnels, and all of it happening at the same time. What would the operation look like? Well, I think the idea is clear. First, create a distraction somewhere else very important, a kind of assault. But it's not real, which is simply drawing attention to another point. And after that, create a ring of fire from the air using B-52 bombers that can stay in that area for quite a while, circling, providing protection, bringing in tanker aircraft for those air units that are around there, and creating a ring of fire around this facility so that it can be accessed and the barrels can be taken. This story is very much like a movie, really like a movie. And I don't know if they're going to do this or not. I would like them to do it. I would like the uranium to be in good hands. All right, we have an incident. Breaking news right now, latest news. Not what you're thinking, with things that happen in the world, things that occur. Right now, in China, you're going to be amazed. The world is crazy. Look at how many are out there. That's the problem. Not that there are crazy people out there. Images. A guy with a bulldozer running over everything in his path. Mother of God. China is crazy. It's crazy.
Oh my God, what is the world coming to?
From Cuba, it's going to fall soon. Cuba is going to fall soon. Oh my God. Cuba is about to fall. Oh my God. What video just came from Tehran? Well, there's drilling going on here. Did they just drill someone? Attention. 1 second. Family. Have they eliminated anyone? Tehran? I repeat. Someone's been eliminated in Tehran. Oh my God, how many people do we have? 26,000 people right now. Family, I want to see your likes. It's intense. It's really intense. Everyone ready? Let's see those likes. Oh my, drill. Whoo, whoo. Oh my, right now Tehran is on fire. Careful, because there was a power outage. Now we see this. Be careful, because maybe, and I say maybe, there could be a ground operation. I don't know. All of this just seems like too much of a coincidence to me.
Well, no. No. No, it's not. It's not.
It's not Iran. It's not Iran. But I know where it is. Calm down. It's not Iran. We've read it. We've said it's Iran, but it's not Iran. We're leaving Iran. This is incredible. We're coming to Israel, arriving in Gaza, heading to northern Gaza. Thank you. We went down to Yavalia. We came this way. It's called the Indonesian Hospital. Up here, there's a a mound, and underneath this mound, there are tunnels. The video we were watching, which is now circulating on social media, is not from Iraq. No, it's not. It's from here. We're going to watch it again. It took me a moment to recognize it. False alarm, but it's not a second one. Let's take a picture. Let's copy the coordinates. Yavalia. It's Yavalia, Yavalia. Let's see it. Let's see why. Let's see it. These are the things that... What we see are the munitions after entering. The munitions inside there. Also, I remember the original video when the bunker penetrating munitions enter. In what we're seeing, stay here. That hole, there, over here, you can see another one. You can see them. Also, in this area, it happens. A total crash of all the ammunition that was stored inside this place. So, despite what's circulating now, that video is from Gaza, not from Iraq. False alarm, that's it. Then we'll delete it or not, or maybe we won't delete it. We'll leave it so that people realize and understand that it's not. Anyway, what was done there that night was basically drilling into the book, I remember. Besides, Indonesian hospital is still standing. I saw the hospital the other day. I was there recently. The hospital is still standing. The Yabal area and the surroundings are completely wiped out. There's nothing left. Just look. This area you're seeing. There's nothing left of this whole circle around the Indonesian hospital. There's nothing left. All of this is on the ground, everything, only the hospital remains. It's the only thing that hasn't been destroyed, so that's where things are. But it's striking. All these things are striking. What's going to happen? What's going to happen between Donald Trump and Netanyahu? What about the Strait of Hormuz? Price of a barrel of oil right now? Let's check it. $515. Oil right now breaking at 115.
Tremendous, tremendous.
Tremendous. What's going to happen? We have to take the Strait of Hormuz. We have to take it. Is he going to give you the order? It's too much, too much. So, how's my health? Well, I'm so-so, more on the bad side. Let's put it that way. So-so, more on the bad side. But, well, here we are. Andrea, does this community's right side deserve a strategic leader like you? Thank you, but I'm not a leader of anything, just my kitchen, and not much more than that. That's where I'm a leader. Here, we're all leaders, a community open to participation. March 30th, full moon, power's out, sky's open. Take care. Big action is coming. I don't know. Maybe we haven't gotten too carried away, but could that be the profile, huh? Could it be like that? I don't really believe you need a full moon to carry out an operation like this. On the contrary, what you want is as little light as possible. Otherwise, why would you cut the enemy's power? No, I would wait longer. A new moon where they can use night vision systems. And where a lot of damage can be done to the enemy because they can't see it. So there it is. We'll have to see when the next new moon is in Iran. We'll have to see. 50 memberships. Oh my God, Anita. Anita is always there. Thank you so much, Anita, for being there, always supporting the channel. Thank you, my friend, for your support. Thank you all, right? Let's look at the comments. Neo, Noe, Cordero. Sorry, Noe, thank you so much. We've already seen this one, but boss, there's a deadly silence from our neighbor Egypt. They're planning something, but it's not food. Take care of your health. I really don't think they'll attack. They may destabilize, but won't attack. What if it's a trap from Iran? We won't know until we're inside, right? Maybe we should do 3 operations simultaneously in Fordo and Natanz. What? In Isfahan, maybe we should enter all 3 sites. Karash is already broken. It doesn't work anymore. It doesn't work anymore. Impressive video from Gaza, huh? I remember this was incredible then, at the time. We don't know exactly how many Revolutionary Guard members have died. Denny, if I told you that, I really wouldn't be able to give you an exact number. When will it be Cuba's turn? Soon. Very soon. When people least expect it, it could happen. Israel can carry out both operations if it wants to. Sorry, the United States, with the help of Israel, because there is also Israeli intelligence on Cuba. So let's see what happens and what goes on there. We continue with more questions and comments. Family. Trump and Bibi didn't start any wars. That's true. Since you said they wanted to destroy Israel, the US, and everyone, I want one, please. A membership. The more you know in the chat, the more chances you have to win. Where is Jabalia? Jabalia is in Gaza. Well, it used to be in Gaza, in the northern area of Jabal. There was a neighborhood there called Jabalia, which was a real hell. And now it's dust. Dust in the air. Of course, Israel's intelligence. With the military power of the United States, you can do many things. Here, they're going to form a new military alliance. That's how it is. We see the images again, both light and dark. There it is, dark, the city. Some districts, we would have to analyze those districts carefully. Commanders keep being eliminated. Field commanders and important people. Del Rey suggested as handicaps of houses, a true democracy in the last hours. Habido. Do you know what he said? The Pope? Jesus? He didn't take up arms, didn't defend himself, didn't fight any war, said the Pope. Leon revealed the kind face of God, who always rejects violence. Instead of saving himself, he let himself be nailed to the cross. All right. Holy Father, the Jews already did that. In World War II, more than 10 million died. They didn't arm themselves, they didn't defend themselves, nor did they fight any war. They showed their kindest side. They rejected violence instead of saving themselves and running away, and they were exterminated. Okay, Papa. And I'm getting heated. And I want to have a calm start to the week. Relax, because this is really intense. If Israel didn't defend itself, didn't arm itself, or fight any war, we'd now have the country full of graves. Well, they wouldn't even bury them. They'd burn them. They'd probably throw the ashes into the sea or somewhere like they did in Auschwitz. There in the river, they threw the ashes. Even today, if tests are done, I read this some time ago, traces still show up in water tests. From what happened there, isn't it something? Isn't it incredible? It's incredible what this man says about some guys. What is Iran like? Maybe it has something to do with the fact that recently they put a sticker to give a nod to Christians on the missiles they launch against civilians in Israel. Maybe they launched a missile. If they're saying this because of oppressed Christians, well, the ones who massacre Christians in Africa are precisely jihadists. Maybe it has something to do with it. Maybe it has something to do with it, man. Man, jihadis with Christians. They ask African priests about it. What's happening in Nigeria? What's going on with Boko Haram and all these things? Boko Haram against sin? Are they kidnapping girls? It's incredible. I don't know where all this is heading, but it's dangerous. It's very, very, very dangerous. Official statement from Kuwait, a service building at a water purification and electric power plant was damaged. I'll read you the headlines as they come up, and that are interesting. Iran, which keeps mocking the United States, they're not taking it seriously. The whole story, not at all. They're not taking it seriously. Something very serious is going to happen here. Let's check NASA firms to see if there has been an attack or not. I think what we'll do is quickly look for images of this. Family, we're live. Right now, we're going to confirm if there has been an attack in Kuwait on any of those critical facilities for the country. Well, let's see it. Let's see it. Family, we're live. Real-time investigation of what might have happened here. Everyone, pay close attention to this area. It's Kuwait. Let's zoom in. We see here, Kuwait. It's this one. It's this place. Let's see if there has been any fire in the last few days. During this month, There was no heat signature, but neither in the last 24 hours. But let's take a look until it loads to see if there is anything now. I think possibly yes, but we have to see it. We have fire in this area. What I want to see is if there was fire here on March 1st. It doesn't show up. But I think there's a mistake. I think there's a mistake. Let's see. Let's check it out.
This is a power plant.
Thermal plant. This generates heat by itself. We can't rely on it, but yes. Kuwait acknowledges that a critical facility has been attacked. I'm going to show you something which is very interesting. There is a building in Kuwait that is very, very, very striking. One of the most striking ones. Let's see if we can see it. Let's see if it's here in a photo. There it is. Does anyone know what this is? Does anyone know what those two towers are? Are these Kuwait's most iconic places? Anyone in the chat have suggestions? What is that? What are those two towers we see there? Are they communication towers? Are they houses? What are they? What we're seeing right now in the image are water tanks. That's where the city gets its water. Water. Kuwait has a lot of wealth. But little water. Very little water.
Incredible.
By the way, let's pause the music for a moment. Pay attention to this. I just watched a video. And I don't understand why Pedro Sanchez is so concerned about Israel. What is his concern about security? When in Spain? Give me a second. I just want to confirm something. And that it's real. I mean, I don't want to risk it yet, but if this video is real, I think that's enough. That's enough. Vamos a ver. 1 second, let's check. I think it should be taken measures. Thank you. Important measures for public safety. I'm watching a video and will briefly describe it so you understand the situation. At the toll booths on Spanish highways, there are organized crime gangs that focus on targeting tourists in cars, and they puncture their tires. Then when the vehicle has to stop, they steal it or steal the people's belongings, mug them. This seems to happen daily. I don't know if the lunatic Pedro Jones is going to do something about this issue. And well, now there's a new YouTuber. Someone called 50,000 euros for a shelter. Now she spends every day recording a short video of herself. And missiles are coming. Missiles, Haifa, let's go, quick. Quick, Haifa camera, where are we? There we are. Missiles are coming to Haifa. Everyone pay attention, okay? More missiles. Let's see if there are interceptors, alarms. We are live. Family. Israel is under attack. Explosions can be seen. Camera 5. Camera 5 explosions. The flash has been seen. Camera 5. Let's see what's going on over there. Let's look for videos. Goodbye. Everyone, stay calm. Let's see what's going on. Right now, Dubai and Bakhotake, there are also videos, Dubai and Bakhotake, United Arab Emirates. There won't be any more truces here. Explosions, camera 5. Camera 9, camera 9. Camera 9. You saw the explosions, huh? Or more. There they are. Camera 9. Let's zoom in. Attacks right now with rockets from Lebanon. Hezbollah is launching rockets. Camera. Camera 5 and camera 9. What a situation. What a situation. Living like this. Northerners suffering through this again. Terrible. Right now, terrible. We have images of Dubai. We're going to see it now in a few seconds. Family, we are live right now. Dubai's air traffic diverted. Let's go to flight radar right now. New live update here. In military strategies, we're going to look at the air traffic happening right now in the United Arab Emirates. Under attack, attack. Let's go to the Emirates hub. One moment, let's check it out. What's happening in Dubai is confirmed. All the planes currently orbiting have been diverted to the approach at Dubai International Airport, and they're still flying. This is incredible. In Israel, planes aren't flying. In the Emirates, planes are flying, putting passengers' lives at risk. Money is everything. For some, it's worth more than for others. It's incredible that planes are still flying in a war zone, but just imagine, there they are. What just happened in Dubai? Images, images, images. Intercepted missiles, new missiles launched. We set up cameras again. Israel is still under attack, Emirates under attack, everyone under attack right now. Northern area, northern border. Drones, more drones. Waves of drones. Now, I want to see more about Dubai. What's happening there? Let's look for footage of Dubai. More drones. Let's see. Looking for footage, okay? Looking for footage. That's why I'm staying quiet. Family, we have no editors or extra help. I'm doing everything myself. It could be, right? Let's see. Sergio is one of the Emirates next to Dubai. Dubai under attack right now. At this moment, Dubai being attacked by Iran. How much longer? He's going to have to wait to enter the war. Or they do it now, or it will be too late for them. Look at this video I missed the other day. I didn't show it. I'm showing it now in relation to what's happening right now in Dubai. Look at this. An aluminum plant near Burro Al Jalizo being engulfed in flames from Iran's attacks. Well, I know you call it Dubai. In Spanish, there are many ways to say Dubai, Dubai, Dubai. The city of the rich, the skyscrapers. There are many ways. Many ways. That is to say, they're crushing it every day. There are attacks. And right now, the flights, well, just look at how they are. The attack continues because they won't leave the corridor. There it is. Look, the chaos that just broke out. All these planes. Orbiting right now. And many of them maybe are already running low on fuel. Those that are running low on fuel will have to be diverted, or they'll have to land somewhere. Well, just look here. Just look. The air traffic chaos going on right now. It was total chaos. Absolutely enormous. Let's see how they solve this, but it doesn't look like it. What madness. What absolute madness. At night, another one. The Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal. What is it saying right now? Basically, the ground operation to extract 1,000 pounds of uranium could require soldiers on the ground for days. They could be working for days to get the uranium out. How do you sustain a military operation for days in enemy territory without invading the country? I don't know how the United States is going to do this. They're going to impress us. They're going to impress us again in a bad way. I have a suspicion about how it would happen, but I'm not going to say it right now. No, in fact, I'm going to do something. I'm going to write it down on something permanent. I've dated it so I can bring it out later, but I wrote down an option, an action that could be lethal. I'm not going to say it. I don't dare to say it. Obviously, it's an operation that would be underway, that would be working. Exactly, and that would be happening soon. What has Trump said about Cuba? Cuba? What's going on with Cuba? Let's go see it. Donald J. Trump, Cuba.
What's going on with what?
What?
Will Cuba be next? What does that mean exactly?
And who will be next?
Cuba?
Yes, Cuba will be next. Cuba will be... Cuba's a mess.
That's all, he says. Yes, Cuba is going to be next. Cuba is a disaster,
Cuba is,
a failed country. And they will be the next ones.
in a short period of time, it will fail. And we will be there to help the country. We will be there to help our great Cuban Americans who were,
He says, we will be there to help the great Cubans.
in many cases, their relatives were mutilated and killed by Castro.
He says, we've heard of families being mutilated by the Castros.
Will Cuba be next?
Yes, Cuba will be next. Get ready, Cuba, you're up. Get ready, Cuba, you're up. Just like Nicolas Maduro Canel, eat because Maduro has lost weight, prison eats. Because things are going to get messy. By the way, Donald Trump says that this morning, Monday, 20 tankers are going to cross the Strait of Hormuz as a gift. Let's see if it's true or not. We'll see. Family, thank you so much for joining us live. We're here one more night, one more day to tell you what's happening. 3:16 in Spain. We're going to try to get some rest, then we'll see what happens. Best regards.